20th of October. And the items on our agenda today are the story ideas progress, which will be presented by Jonathan, the prototype progress, which will be presented by me, Oshin, and the transcribing the basic aesthetic and story level design kind of ideas presented by Rob. So, Jonathan, you want to go first?
Yep, sounds good. Right. We were talking about like the basic story concept for the game last week, and like we decided we wanted to focus more on the game mechanics than story. But I just thought we'd like while we're still in the paper prototyping stage, we'd like go a little bit more in depth onto it. And I just want to read out last week's synopsis of the game and just kind of talk to you about how I felt about it.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm just gonna read it and then I'll go into what I thought. Right, in the near future, science has advanced to an unprecedented level. Teleportation, healing, and cell manipulation have all made possible by two truly great minds, Dr. von Scheinhausen and Dr. Barry. These two great scientists are hardy friends. One would go as far to say they are mortal enemies in constant competition with one another. Between them, they have advanced science in a way the world has never seen before. But one obstacle still stands in their way: eternal life. As the doctors know, building a machine in which to test such theories would take a lifetime, so unwillingly they join forces. But due to arrogance, the test fails and the doctor's atoms are joined to one another. Can they work together to find a way to reverse themselves? Who knows? Right. Like the basic idea of the game sounds good, like two like deadly scientists working together and something goes wrong and now they've to like they've to work together on a whole new level.
Yeah.
For like the benefit of each other and not their respective careers.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. But the fact that like the two of them are always working together and they're hardy friends, but like then they're also considered to be mortal enemies doesn't kind of click.
Wait, did you say hardy friends?
Yeah, I think that's a misspelling. I think it's supposed to be hardly.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
that would be a typo on my part.
That would be a typo, and that would probably more than likely be one of the main reasons why I have wrote what I did. Like that will be coming up soon.
Okay.
So like my kind of story would be totally different.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Depending on that one word.
Yeah.
But and then like on top of that, the like due to their arrogance, the test fails. Like I couldn't imagine two scientists, no matter how much they hated them, like they wouldn't become arrogant. Like, what are they arrogant towards?
Each other. So,
if they're arrogant towards each other, like that just defeats the purpose of them working together. Like,
yeah, but that's the thing. That's the reason the test fails, though. That's because they're trying to one up each other constantly. That's how they fuck her up.
All right. Well, I'm gonna read out my spin on it. That I was like, it's only 3 paragraphs. Right, here goes. In the near future, science has advanced to an unprecedented level. Teleportation, healing, and cell manipulation have all been made possible by two truly great minds, Dr. von Scheinhausen and Dr. Barry. These two great scientists are hardy friends, one being the comedian to the other's by-the-book, no-nonsense approach to science. Always in constant competition with one another, they have managed to advance science in a way the world has never seen before, nor is ready to accept. But one obstacle still stands in their way: eternal life. As the doctors know, building a machine in which to test such theories would take a lifetime. So unwillingly, they take liberties and shortcuts with certain methods of their work, and due to their arrogance, multiple tests fail and the doctors are back to square one. Finally, their hyper subatomic doohickey machine, which is comically named by Barry, goes into meltdown and explodes, fusing both doctors' atoms together subatomically. In order to undo what they both thought was impossible to achieve, They devised a weapon which is named Nancy. That can be controlled by one doctor to project the other to a nearby location for a set time while they make their way through super secret lab that is near suicidally difficult to traverse in their condition. To reach the backup subatomic doohickey, which in this case is actually named, and then, like, the straight laced doctor would have named as something completely boring. And that's all I got so far because I didn't feel I could go into any more until we find out like how we're gonna actually, play the game.
Yeah. Well, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's good as well.
Yeah, no complaints.
The only thing I'd say was I kind of liked the friction if they were enemies, or not enemies, but just weren't fond of each other. I thought that would have added a cool dimension, whereas if you're not moving for so long, you could have one of them insult each other or something like that.
Yeah, or you could have, in the same way, instead of having them hate each other, you could have it that one of them is actually a fucking retard. An idiot, like. One of them is a really good scientist. If you want to not have them both be the same guy, you could do something like that.
Yeah, like that's why like one of them was like the Joker, like he never he never understands why there's like the other one is so serious because they're potentially in a life-threatening situation, and one like wants to focus on like undoing the mess, and the other one can't like mentally grasp the situation, and that's like that could be like friction between them.
And then you could have it as like the not so smart one is the one who always comes up with the actual answers, and the brainy one never has a clue, kind of thing.
Yeah. That sounds cool.
Something like that. I don't know, but you can still go back to them being enemies. Either way, it all sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, sounds good either of them. But I like how your story, John, like when you added more into it, kind of explained more about the machine and names and such and details like that weren't touched on in the other draft.
Yeah, true. Like I kept the things like arrogance, like they failed because of arrogance, but like then I like beforehand I mentioned that they took shortcuts and liberties, and because they were arrogant in their own skills and decided to do that, like it failed, and like then they created the weapon which will be the source of the main mechanic of the game.
Yeah.
And like they gave it a name, and that's how the item that the game will be mostly played with.
Nancy.
And there can be like a little nod to like how they're two geeky scientists that never interact with women, so they named a gun Nancy.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, I like that. Sound. Okay, so should we move on to the next item?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go ahead then. Let's see. Okay, so the prototype progress. I shared the project, the little test project with both of you there earlier. It's basically just a little quick scene, a couple of first-person controllers. This can work with third person really easily as well. There's two scripts there. One of them controls the camera. One of them disables character controllers. Basically, when you press the F1 key, the camera script switches to player one, and the controller or just the swapping script disables player two and enables player one's character controller. And then when you press the F2 key, the opposite happens. The camera script goes to the player two camera, and the swapper script disables the character controller for player one and enables player two. So actually, you're controlling both of them at the same time, but only one of them will ever be enabled at the one time. So it seems like you're swapping between them. And,
nice.
Yeah, if you it's not perfect, but it's working.
It's a start.
But if I reckon we can just put in a physics.raycast or something in the. Let me have a look at the script. In the get input.get key thing.
Yeah.
So well, kind of amazed that it was that easy. I mean, I obviously Googled it, and I didn't get the answer straight away. But within within about an hour or so, kind of had it half working, and it was pretty easy to just get it working.
That's great news.
So that was really got lucky there, I think.
Well, that's half of the bulk I thought like that was going to be difficult in making this game was getting that mechanic to work. So now that we've got
Yeah, I thought that would take
nailed down.
ages because I remember last week. Yeah, exactly. Like last week, we had our little team progress section at the end, and one of the things was we all said that none of us feel we have the programming knowledge to achieve the switching thing, and like I still don't feel like I've done anything amazing, but just kind of. I realized that when you look at it from a distance, it seems a lot more complicated than it actually is when you start doing it. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. I don't know if you guys have it in front of you there. If you want to
I
mess
do,
with
yeah.
it.
I fiddle around with it. It's like for the first week's progress, it's pretty
Yeah.
good.
WSA and D to move around.
So Rob, do you want to
Yeah. So I spent the last week researching color templates and level design, and I have uploaded a concept art for the game mechanic. I will put it up on Google Drive when we're finished this talk. I think I shared it with Oisin anyway. It's just of a science lab, a Soviet science lab as far as I know. Very typical mad scientist looking with a giant machine in the middle. But the swapping ability that we have is being implemented as there's one character on the ground and he's swapping to get another character to the top. So it just kind of shows how the game would look if the mechanics were being used. But I also did a lot of work looking at what colours we were going to use throughout the game. And I was thinking of kind of cold, clean colours and very pastel colours as well, like blues and pastel blues and stuff, just because blues gives off a very intelligent vibe, so that you know that where they are is a science lab or whatever. But it also gives off really clean, cold colours, so it sets a mood, as well as I'd like to think of some purples as well, some light purples in the levels as well, also just for power and for danger as well. So I was looking at that. I'm going to upload an article that I was reading earlier about colours and how they change their perception of level design. So I'll upload that to the drive as well after this talk.
Cool.
As far as laying out the level and level design at the moment, I was just looking at basic platformers and trying to draw inspiration from them. But I don't think we can really do much. Well, I don't think I could do much drawing out the level unless we have Unity opened and we're making assets for it and kind of seeing how everything kind of fits together with the mechanic until we get together to do that.
Yeah.
Now that you've shared the mechanic with us, maybe I'll probably go off and mess with it now for a few days and see what can be done.
Yeah. Cool. So I guess like the next stage is just for us to, now that we've got a really basic prototype working, to kind of expand on it and see can we make it fun to play without, like Shane was saying earlier, if it's fun to play, it'll be fun to play without any cool graphics or anything. Just the blocks.
Make the most basic of levels that we can, and as long as the mechanic works and we're enjoying it, well then I think that's pretty much nearly everything done. Then
so now everybody has the project, so we'll all kind of mess with it. And it's pretty easy just to change it to third person rather than first person. To swap it around, but yeah. Anything else?
I think that's all we did. We're going to assign roles for next week.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I think for next week, the best, for next Tuesday, the best thing we could do is, now that we have the a basic version of the mechanic working, we can all box model a level each, a short enough level just to see from start to finish, and we can share it with each other, and we can play each other's game and see what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
We can focus on that, and then we can talk about how we feel next week.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
so just just to put down some rules for the box modeling. It's going to be 2D for everyone, is it, or just whatever?
Yeah, 2D.
2D, cool. And
Well,
two
technically,
carriage controllers only.
yeah, technically 2.5D, just because you know, the objects will be models.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And just limited to 2 carriage controllers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the whole game will be limited to that.
Yeah.
Just purely because that's how the story kind of plays out.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. But another thing we could do with the story, if we wanted to have more than 2 carriage controllers, is we could have it so that, like, when they wake up after the accident, both of their brains, just reminded me from seeing the brain in the picture, both of their brains, their minds are in one person's brain, and the gun they find lets them shoot them into someone else, like the other guy's body is basically not moving, and they fire over into his body, and they're both in there again, and then they can, if you went that way, you could conceivably have loads of carriage controllers at the time. But anyway.
Yeah, that sounds good. We could try and pursue that even.
Just whatever we can come up with that looks fun.
Yeah, but that's what it is. Like what Sergio says, follow fun.
Yeah.
Fail fast, follow fun.
Exactly.
So for next week, box model a game and then share the game with each other and see what we think.
Yeah, so that's for everyone.
That's
cool.
fair.
Yeah. All right. So I guess that's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Nice one.
Logging off.
Sweet.
Right, is the recording finished?
It's finished.